Hello, friends. Welcome back to the ComfyOrg stream. I'm here. I'm Purz. This is Joe. Hi, Joe. Say hi, Joe.
Hi. Hello, everyone.
Hope everybody's enjoying WAN 2.2. I know you've had a long couple days getting this ready, but I mean, how's your day been so far? I've been excited to see all the new stuff. How's things been on your end?
Yeah, I'm super excited to actually join the launch live stream from like with the one team, and I just take a nap, and then a few hours later, I was super like impressed about what's been made in the past few hours, and I'm full on notes taking mode today.
I know we were just scrolling through Banadoko before the stream, and like this community. I mean, you guys have already figured out that a bunch of 2.1 stuff already works with 2.2. One of the main things in the launch video was about this community and how robust it is and how crazy 2.2 was and how big the open source community got with it. And then just to find out today that most of this stuff carries over to 2.2, and that maybe some new training, some injection will be have to be done. But like I used LightX today. We got renders down to like 22 seconds on a 5090 for 720 by 480, and they look good. We'll show you all this stuff. But yeah, as you can tell, I've been pretty excited and playing with this all day. So yeah, if you got things in the chat you've done today with WAN 2.2 or tips, tricks, stuff you figured out today, please let us know. We'll let everyone know. And uh, I kept promising more WAN videos in the last couple of weeks on the stream, deep diving. So, I'm going to make good on that promise pretty obviously, because I think there's going to be a lot more really amazing stuff dropping for 2.2. But for right now, I'm going to stop talking about 2.2. I'm going to jump over to the demo video so you guys can see what I'm talking about. And then, we'll dive into the nerd stuff. So let's slide over to the
Let's
demo.
go.
And Joe works hard on these videos. She coordinates all this stuff. We generate stuff for it, but really, every time you see one of these cool videos, it's because Joe did a lot of work. So say thanks next time you see her.
Yeah, actually, thanks to our like internal creative team, and we're literally generating things last minute, freshly.
I mean, that's how this whole thing works, right? Stuff comes out, and you just have to be ready. But these are all examples of WAN 2.2. You can prompt for camera movement. You can prompt for emotion. It's got amazing image to video, amazing text to video. I just saw some people started getting vase working, which means we'll have control, like control net. These a lot of these are text to video, but some of them are image to video. And like I don't know about y'all, but I'm kind of sick of prompting. It's kind of nice to be able to just throw images at something and make videos from them. But yeah, like yeah, WAN 2.2. So let's
Yeah,
talk
and
nerdy,
obviously,
nerdy stuff. Oh yeah,
yeah, sorry. Yeah,
no,
obviously,
no.
like during the testing and also been reading through the prompt guide and also in conversation with the one team, I feel like the most biggest highlight in a like in the performance wise is they did a lot of work on providing like cinematic scenes and views. So you can actually have like very detailed prompt about the light, the camera movement, and like the sentiments of the characters. So this time we did a lot. We got a lot of good output on that. And the other thing is, I think they emphasize this on complex motions. So we did a bunch of tasks in both the 14B and 5B, and it kind of works great.
No, it really does. I was doing things where so in WAN 2.1, when you do an image to video with text, and you say, I want the person to do this thing, or I want something to happen in the scene, you almost have to have your second image be that thing so that the model can get there. But with this one, like I find you can really just say the zany thing you want to happen, and it actually happens. Like I made a bunch of stuff where it's just a single shot of me in front of a tree, but then I just kept doing different things, and it just from the text prompt you can get there, and that's something that wasn't super strong in the last one, and is just crazy strong in this one, and that's probably because of the high noise, low noise thing, which we'll get into in a little bit. But yeah. This model is actually two models. It's a high noise and a low noise model, and it's what they call a mixture of experts. So one's really good at this and one's really good at that, and the high motion being sort of all of the details, like the motion and the characteristics and all that things, and then the low, as far as I understand, does like all of the detail refining. So it's kind of like SDXL was back in the day, where you have the one model that does the sort of base generation, then there's another model that cleans it up afterwards. So that's sort of why this one is a little more um, prompt reactive, kind of reacts
Yes.
to what you want it to do. And yeah, the cinematic aesthetic control. I've already seen a bunch of demos where people are doing. They're describing the camera movements they want, and a lot of people that make AI videos, they really want that. They want that, like, dolly in and then zoom out and move to the left, because that's the actual emotion they're trying to evoke from the camera movement. So, yeah, amazing. What else? And yeah, the 5B version runs very fast once you have it all configured. I was having some troubles with my 3090, the 24 gig thing. These models are very large, but as I've seen today, there's already GGUF quantizations available. There's FP8. You can get this running on less VRAM for sure. But every time you step down with VRAM, you go with precision, a lower precision, more quantized. There is a bit of a trade-off with quality, but in my book, I'd rather be able to do the thing than not do the thing. So I would say, if you have a 16 gig card, 12 gig card, 8 gig card, watch Reddit, watch Banadoko, watch our Discord, and people will figure it out. The people with the 8 gig cards are usually the hungriest to get things working. So,
Yeah.
I will be surprised if this isn't running on a smart fridge in a couple weeks. So yeah, we got a 5B model and a 14B image to video and a 14B text to video. The 5B model is interesting because it's actually both models in one. Like, it does text to video and it does image to video. Now, the other models do both those things as well, but they're obviously better. Like, the 14B image to video model is better at image to video than the text to video model would be. But they actually do still do it too, which is really neat. Yeah. Open Room says very fast, question mark, 45 minutes for a 3080 with 32 gigs of RAM. Okay, listen, I know I said very fast. What I meant to say was, if it fits in your memory, it runs really fast. What tends to happen when things are running really slow, and that's something I had today, is the model is actually hitting the peak of your VRAM and then spilling into your system memory. And like, the system memory is like way slower than the VRAM. So once it does that, your whole generation is going to take like ages and ages and ages longer. So yeah, they work, but sometimes the problem is they're sending data to your RAM and back, and like it's almost not worth waiting. Like, you want to find a more quantized model, try to get the generation to fit inside your VRAM. This can be done by reducing resolution, reducing frame length, and it can also be done by just picking a model that's a little smaller. Yeah. 24 gigs is kind of the new the new normal for a lot of these state of the art video models, because they're trying to compete with, like, can you imagine what the servers at Google are like? They're trying to compete with VO and stuff. They got like TPUs. They're not even GPUs. They got stuff that we don't even know about. So we have to do something, and patience usually is the answer to the speed question. um, there's a problem with the VAE for 5B. Yes, I've heard that there's just a slight thing with the color, but I think that there'll be a new VAE drop probably pretty soon, or someone's already fixed it in After Effects, and like, there's a bunch of other things. I have to see what Deep Beep Meep. Yes, Deep Beep Meep made some very cool quantizations for one of the last ones, one of the last models, and yeah, amazing work. Shrunk it down like crazy. The 14B will not make sense on the 3080 Ti with 12 gigs of VRAM. Yeah, probably not yet. But again, like I said, wait like a week and then check Reddit, because I bet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because the current like minimum VRAM for the official model repackaged version we released, we just tested it and think the minimum is actually around 20 gigabytes. So sorry about that. But yeah, I've seen things happening in the community right now.
Yeah, it's wild. Um, do WAN 2.114b lowers work? Eh? I've seen mixed results. We just saw an example of one that worked incredibly well.
Mhm.
But then I've seen other ones that don't. So I think your mileage will vary on that. My gut feeling is that it's something that has to do with however it was trained. I don't know enough about one LoRa training yet to be able to give you a good answer on that one, but it seems like some of them work already. So just try them, especially if you use the LightX LoRa, which I'll show you guys later. You can get your generation time down really low, so you can try some of this stuff fast. Does it have to be 24 FPS? Absolutely not. In Comfy, videos are just a series of images. Well, I mean, in anything, a video is a series of images. But when you save that, sorry, I got to turn off my Discord notifications. People keep yammering at me. So yeah, once you have that, that series of images, you can tell Comfy at what frame rate you'd like to assemble that series of images into a video. So if you want it to be 30 frames per second, you just tell Comfy, I want a 30 frame per second video. If you want a 16 frame per second video, you do that. So, and there's also interpolation, which will make, a 16 frame per second video. You can interpolate that so it's actually smooth but the same speed. All that stuff's available in Comfy. So, I don't know what it was trained at though. My gut says about 16 because this one seems like faster than the last one. Like it seems like it doesn't feel like slow motion. The 2.1 model kind of felt, some of the gens felt like slow motion. A lot of these ones feel like they're moving like at a more like human speed. So yeah, maybe it was trained. Maybe the videos were a higher frame rate on the way in this time. I don't know. Right on. So yeah, the click. Yeah, and if you want to play with it, the workflows are on the blog. They're on the docs. They're if you update the desktop version, they're now available in there. If you update portable through the manager, they should come up. And again, if they don't, they're on the blog. No worries. Just make sure you're running the latest version of Comfy so that the nodes are up to date, because they're you're gonna need some of the new stuff. But otherwise, it should just work. And then in each of those example workflows, there's links on the left for all the models that you need with a little folder above them that tells you exactly where they go. I'll show you right now. It's nice. There's actually a little folder structure too, so you can see exactly where they go. It's great. You know, these new workflows are just like the browse templates workflows are so good. I've got a lot of community feedback on them. They are absolutely like so easy to use, and the fact that the models are linked in the workflow is a game changer. For I know a lot of people do that as in the community, and it's nice that we've taken that on, and yeah, it's really good. Is there going to be something like Vaste for one? Yes. Somebody already trained it. So we just saw a Vaste module for 14B, I think. So
Yeah,
try it
we're
out.
also
Let us know.
asking the one team. Probably they'll also like make something like that officially, but we'll see.
Who is making the workflows? You get their Twitter up. It's ComfyUI Wiki, right? The Twitter?
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Comfy.
X.com, ComfyUI Wiki. Yes, please go follow.
Yeah. He is like maintaining our official documentation and also providing templates for all the model been released so far. So he also did a lot of work in the launch video. So thank God we have such an amazing creator.
Yeah, the all the video edits, like yeah, that's something I can do it, but it's not my favorite thing. And I love a good snappy video, and they're always like nice and tight. It's great.
Yeah, and we
Uh,
have a comment feature on our documentation where you can find all the workflows and stuff right now. So if you have any questions or suggestions to the documentation and tutorials, just leave the comments there, and I'm sure if you will see it and iterate.
yeah. Well, friends, this workflow is the WAN 2.2 image to video 14B workflow. It's available in workflows, browse templates, video, and it's right here. WAN 2.2 14B image to video. Um, the three new WAN 2.2 workflows are the first three you see there. There's 14B text to video, 14B image to video, and 2.2 5B video generation. Uh, I'm going to recommend you do the 5B video generation unless you have 32 gigs of VRAM. The 14B stuff does work, but you basically have to close everything else on your computer if you're going to run it, because like I was doing, even when just having Discord open was too much to get the model loaded into memory. But again, this is a today problem and it won't be a 3 days from now problem. But yeah, I would just say, unless you have a 5090 or something with more than 24 gigs of RAM, I would just play with the 5B model for today. But there are ways to get the 14B model working with GGUF, all this stuff. Just go on Reddit. People are already talking about it. Go down the rabbit hole and get it working, because you'll have fun. But yeah, what I've been doing is just renting a run pod, like a 5090, because yeah, I just wanted to play with the model kind of in memory to see what happens. But yeah, so to get started at home, all you have to do is just open up browse templates, go to video, and let's open up that 5B video generation, because it's sort of the easiest one. As you can see, it's actually a lot like a, regular um, image generation workflow, like a Flux workflow or something. There's not much more to it. There can be. I mean, this one sphere is very extendable. We got Tcache, we got uh, Torch compile, and all the enhancers, enhance a video, and so yeah, there's a bunch of stuff that we're not going to cover today because it's all community stuff and you can totally get into it. It's all in one video wrapper, and a lot of it already works with this pipeline. So yeah, again, our Discord in the help channel, Banadoko, WAN chatter. There's a bunch of places where the community is kind of smashing this stuff together. So yeah, I know I keep mentioning it, but it's important if you want to sort of learn this stuff to just sort of be a fly on the wall in those places and just soak it in, because there's a lot of smart people doing a lot of hard work and just posting their results. Even 24 gigs of RAM does not seem to be enough for the 14V models. Yeah, that is a common thing. Like I said, you basically have to make sure your computer is just a GPU, which is hard to do in Windows when you've got apps that just take GPUs. So yeah, it can seem that way. It will work. Like I said, I did get it to work, but I had to kill everything except Comfy. And it actually would work better if you had like Linux. If you're using like Ubuntu or something as your main driver, I think if you just booted up Comfy and got to work, um, it would work fine. But again, today problem. It'll be fine in a couple days. Oh, what was that? Will it be possible to generate a bunch of latent images, save them to disk, and then load the other half of the model and use that on all the latents? Honestly, that question is over my head. So I'm going to say maybe. All right. So this is our 5B workflow. It's very simple. These are the three models you need: the WAN 2.2 model, image to video, 5B FP16. Grab that, put it in diffusion models. You need the VAE decoder model. There's two of them. There's 2.2 and 2.1. The 5B uses 2.2, 14B uses 2.1. I know it's confusing, but it's in the default template. So like I said, start with the default template so that you have all the settings like right to start, then tinker, because even the wrong clip model will break this workflow. It's just, this has to be, the models have to be correct. So grab the VAE, put that in the VAE folder. Grab the text encoder, the UMT5 XXL FP8 E4M 3FN scaled. There's another version of that model you might already have. It won't work. it has old in the file name. I already tried it. It's a different file, so you need this specific one. That's generally the case with these. You always need the specific clip model that they mention in the workflow. So keep that in mind. Is the low noise model just a video to video model like Upscaler? I think it's more like a refiner model. So we've got a model that generates the base generation. Then we have a model that works on fine detail. The first model is considered an expert on composition and, you know, color and people and objects and things and simple details. And then I think the other one goes in and just like adds the detail that's required. So yeah, maybe it is like an upscaler, but I think it's more like a dream, like it's just more time in the K sampler with a different model, a lot like SDXL was. But again, I can't speak for the WAN folks. Check the papers and ask Claude to explain it to you. That might actually give you the better answer. All right, so that's the whole setup for the models. Everybody get the models in the right place. They may take a little longer to download. I know some of them are very big, but it's very simple. You just go through here, make sure once your models are in the right folder, if you hit the R key on your keyboard, you'll see this little update request that comes up, and then it'll come up green. All that means is it went in and refreshed all these little folder lists here. So if you have just put new models in a folder, this is how you can refresh those folders without restarting Comfy. So we just did that. Now our models showed up. So we go want to use our 5B model here. We want to use our UMT5 XXL FP8 E4M 3FN here. The less VRAM you have, you're going to want to look into these FP8 weights. Because this is a 5090, I think I can actually fit this entire weight in on default. So we're going to try it. But this E4M 3FN fast is probably what you want if you have a 4090 or 40 series or a 50 series. If you have a 30 series, you actually want the regular E4M 3FN. You don't have the chip that the fast version uses. So if you have a 30 series card, it's this one. If you have a 40, 50 series card, it's fast. There is a quality reduction, but it is much faster. So, late. Is it possible to run a 14B model, either FP8, GGUF Q8, or GGUF Q6 with 16 gigs of VRAM? I'm not sure. Benedoko, Reddit, our Discord, they will all know. My guess is probably. Joe just updated the blog. You can find the workflows and download buttons both in the blog and the docs.
Yeah, just in case the workflow dialog is hard to find.
Yeah. Yeah, it is up here in workflow browse templates, but also sometimes if something in an update, right, you might not have the latest ones. So yeah, it's on the blog there just in case. Yeah, so FP8, E4M, 3FN fast. This will work for us because we're on a 5090, so I'm just going to leave it alone. Just in case this ooms and we have to start over. Means out of memory, but I'm sure most of you already know what that means. I know there's a lot of veterans and experts here that are just roll their eyes every time I explain something, but for all you experts and veterans, there's somebody here who has no idea what we're talking about. So that's for them, not you. Open Room says, well, yeah, feels like mixture of experts is the future of models, and we'll get more modular and bigger, basically. Yeah, this is the hope, right? We train models that are good at things, and we have them work together. So yeah. Joviak says, say FP8, E4M, 3FN fast, 3FN times fast. No thanks, buddy. You do it. Was my first tattoo. All right. So yeah, this workflow is very simple. I know we've been interrupted a billion times, but it's okay. You guys can figure this one out. We have our WAN 2.2 image to video latent. This works the same as an empty latent image node that you would normally use to set your canvas. This sets the width and height and length of the video. So just for speed, we're going to set this as 768 by 480, but this model is 1280. It does crazy stuff at 768 by 768, 1280 by 768. You can really push it. It's fine. We're just gonna do it fast today for the stream because So the initial prompt is low contrast in a retro 1970s style subway station. A street musician plays in dim colors and rough textures. He wears an old jacket, playing guitar with focus. Commuters hurry by, and a small crowd gathers to listen. The camera slowly moves right, capturing the blend of music and city noise, while old subway signs and modeled walls in the background with old subway signs. So it should generate somebody playing guitar on a subway station, hopefully. Please add text to image workflow. No, it's there. Yeah, it's there on the blog. Go ahead and hit up the old Comfy blog or use the browse templates to find it. Okay. Low contrast. So this is a text to video. We have our image disabled right now. But if we were to turn this on, it would actually just animate this image. So we're going to leave it off for now for the first run. And our settings are 20 steps, a CFG of 5. We're using the UniPC sampler and a scheduler simple. We might change this when we go to use the LightX LoRa because it's sort of distilled. I'll show you how that works. But this is a great starting place for your settings. More steps, more time, more quality. Less steps, less time, less quality. 20 is kind of like a baseline. The lower you go, it's going to get worse and worse. So, 20 is good. We use distilled LoRa's to bring that way down, but I'll show that with the 14B model. So this model's smaller, so you can actually run 20 steps in a reasonable amount of time. We use this model sampling SD3 here. This shift value, as far as I understand, it's kind of like a strength of this model. I just leave it at 8. You can change it and see what it does. But like we go over every time we do one of these streams, if you change a value, only change that value and then do the run and see what it does. Because if you change 3 things, you have no idea what you just changed. If you want to see what this does, set it to 1, set it to 16, do a run and see if you can discern what has changed. But don't change this and then do 25 steps and change the prompt, do a different seed, because then you've got a completely different generation on your hands. Sonados said, I did 1448 by 832, but it lasts a lot longer when you push the resolution. It was worth it though. The hair looked more clear. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, we don't know what the top resolution is, but I saw on Banadoko, Kajai accidentally did a 2880 by 1440 or something, and it worked. It totally worked.
Oh,
yeah, totally worked. I'm just gonna hit this, friends. This is all it is. There's 6 nodes, 7 nodes here, and then here where I was talking about the FPS, this is where you can set what you want your destination FPS to be. So, set it to 30 if you want it a little smoother. Set it to 16 if you like that sort of claymation, stop motion sort of look, or filmic GIF kind of flickery animation. And then also explore the interpolation nodes as well for making it smooth. So yeah, this took 28 seconds on a 5090 to do a 5B run at 768 by 480, 121 frames. That's pretty good. Quality not so great. Let's crank that res back up. What were we, 1280 by 704, I think it was. So that one was 28 seconds for that lower res, which was 720 by 480, which works better with 14B. I'll show you that in a bit because there's a 480p LightX distilled model that works really well with the 14B 2.2 model. I know this is a lot of information, but just go back. If you're confused, just go back. There's a lot of data today, a lot of stuff dumped, a lot of stuff happened. Oh, you know what? While we wait, let's go through Banadoko. I said we were going to do that, and then I
Yeah.
forgot to show everybody all the cool stuff the community's working on. All right. Okie dokie. Banodoko. Ooh, on chatter. Okay, let's start at the bottom because this will be the newest stuff. So this stuff will generally, I'm pretty sure, will just all be 2.2 stuff today if it's not mentioned, because that's what everyone's playing with. Look at this fish.
Oh my god.
It's like a piranha. This is by Patata. Patata. I'm sorry if I butcher your usernames, you friends. Thakino was the goat. That's great. Prototype double RPG with gun swords.
It feels like
Yeah,
playing violins and stuff.
these gun swords are crazy. That's awesome. Seeing what the model outputs without a positive prompt can be pretty entertaining. 2x2 steps on 14B. Okay, so I'll tell you what that means in a minute. 2x2 steps, basically, the 14B model, when you use it with LightX, you go from 20 steps to 4 steps. And because it's a dual model, we do 2 steps, then we do 2 steps on the second model. So 2 steps, then it does another 2. So when they say 2x2, that's what it means. Two steps on LightX, 2 steps on LightX high. Sorry, WAN 2.2 high, WAN 2.2 low. And what it does is basically reduces your generation from half an hour, 45 minutes to 30 seconds, a minute. It's crazy.
Yeah,
So yeah,
amazing.
so no positive prompt means it's just gonna wildly dream stuff once it sees the input image. So that's what these are. He just threw an input image in and just went go for it. And sometimes this can make really messed up stuff. So hopefully, oh wow,
Oh my god.
I like that one. That one's insane. Look at this guy.
All right.
Must be hard to skateboard in the water like that. This guy's running and the skateboard's just kind of like hanging out under his feet on the left. Oh, that's amazing. And yeah, these look kind of bad when I full screen them because like remember they're generated at like 830 by 480 and stuff like that. So they would go through like an upscaling process normally before you'd look at them this big. So don't assume they look bad. They're just small. There's ways to make small stuff look really good. VR Game Girl, who trained the Fusion X Laura, has been doing a lot of experiments today as well. It looks like she just removed LightX from the first sampler in the run. So this is what we were thinking about earlier is, we got the high motion and we got the low motion sort of, the thing in the refiner. Do we need the distilled model on both? How does that work? Maybe one, that's the cool part about the community. They'll figure it out by tomorrow. Kajai been doing his tests. He almost always uses this image. So when you see this image in WAN Chatter on Banadoko, just know that he's working hard. This one's really cool. It feels really long. Yeah, 10 seconds, 161 frames. So he's extending now. If y'all don't know who Kajai is, just go. I mean, you must, but if you don't, just go to GitHub and look at his repos. Enough said.
Yeah, every time I feel like some model drops at 5 a.m., 6 a.m., there's going to be people calling him to wake up.
Yeah, they were pinging him today in the channel in Bano, and I'm like, every time you ping Kajai, it takes 8 hours longer to get to get the release.
This is pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm really blown away. All right, so Vakino has been doing cutting demos all day with Juan. We looked at a couple earlier. Oh, nice! It even got the soda splashing out.
Yeah. Yeah, the liquid. Looks at it.
This Discord, Sonny Dos asked, it's, I'm just going to drop the link here, banodoko.ai. So if you go there, there's a link to the Discord. And yeah, that's sort of where the community, we sort of pool all of our knowledge. So yeah, please join Banodoko. WAN Chatter is actually the name of the channel with all the stuff that's coming out today, all the stuff I'm showing you. It's all in WAN Chatter. There's also, WAN development, I think, WAN, this and that, generations. Everything in Banodoko is sort of broken down by rabbit hole. So, I mean, good Lord, have fun. There's so much information on there to go through now. So this, I think, is probably Fusion X, if it's VR Game Girl. We saw one earlier where he fell right off the boat. So this one, he just sort of stumbled. Ugh. So this model does something that I don't see in other models. You'll notice when she's done eating the sushi, it's half gone.
Mm.
There seems to be some vague understanding of cause and effect. I've had other things. I said, the man picks up the dog and hugs the dog and then puts the dog down. And it actually picked the dog up and then put the dog, like it actually, most of these video models, your prompts end up being kind of linear, and it'll either do everything at once or it'll just decide in what order things happen, or it won't. When people eat food, the food comes right back out of their mouth because it doesn't
Yeah.
understand, the person is eating and then swallowing the food. So yeah, I've been blown away by that a lot today. Yeah, these models are getting smarter and smarter. Look at that. I wonder if she was
Wow,
just
that's
about to pull
perfect.
it right back out, though. It's just like next frames, it's just yank it
Yeah, I'm
right back.
kind of afraid, but they did it.
But yeah, just cut it. Just cut it. Okay, huge difference between LightX 14B CFG and the one LightX distilled ranked LoRa. The second one, despite its image and video, gives 10% better results. Okay, I've been wondering about this myself because there's a lot of variations of LightX. So I don't actually know what the best one is. I need to do more testing myself. But that's why we have Banodoko.
Mhm.
Yeah, that looks really good. Okay, so
Yeah.
I'm just going to write that or just reiterate that. One I2V 14B LightX CFG step distill LoRa rank 64 seems to be better than the adaptive rank text to video. Even on text to video. That's crazy. So the image to video version of the LightX distilled model works better for text to video than the text to video model does. That's interesting. So it looks like this is the LoRa to try, everybody. So I'm going to drop that in the chat there. That'll be available on a page that is LightX. It's in this LightX folder. Yeah, it'll be in this folder right here, friends. So yeah, you'll want to get that LoRa, and I'll show you all that workflow as soon as we're done with Banodoko. Let's get back over there. Okay. Yeah, as you can see, there's been a lot of development today.
Wow,
LoRa's
those are
applied.
actually generated like after the stream started, like super
Yeah, I know.
fresh.
We haven't even got to the stuff we looked at
Yeah.
before the stream started yet. Oh, okay, this is great. Someone just Donnell just compared all of the different LoRa's. So we just compared them, and they're also only on the high step. So LightX in the top left, CosVid in the bottom left, and AcVid in the bottom right, and then none on the top right. I'm surprised for me that it's Cosvid. I think Cosvid's the winner for me.
Yeah.
It seems to be like actually taking off. The camera's while following it. Oh, I don't think there's anything wrong with it. Point. I think it's just a different train, a different distill. You know, the 128 maybe it works better in 2.1. Maybe the 64 works better in 2.2. Maybe it's just a seed thing too. That's the other thing when you're with like a rank difference of 64, 128, 32. I feel like the difference is going to be like you won't even be able to tell. Yeah, everything I've seen from everyone says the 64, the rank 64 seems to be the winner out of all of them, but the thing they all do is worth having for sure because it distills your model down.
Oh,
That
this is super
is
great.
really
Wow.
high quality. Super cool. That was VR Game Girl.
Yeah.
So
I
this is
suppose it's 14B.
probably 14B, probably with her Fusion X Laura,
Mm-hmm.
I would think.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, Relven here, 121 frames versus 241 frames. It broke the prompt on the long version. So we'll look at the 121 first. So this is 121 frames. Oh wow, she's really the like the dream is starting to fall apart here. It's like she's like flapping around like paper. Okay, so
Yeah.
240. So this is twice as long. We'll see what happens. Was okay? Turned into
Oh,
a bicycle. She's ETing. Okay. So it kind of like immediately like just walked away from the prompt, but then it's
yeah.
really stuck to whatever it landed on.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Very stubborn mortal.
And yeah, Abel Jones cranked base strength up to 4 just to see if he could get the models to do anything. So base is a control model, and you'll see they're feeding that like open pose, just like skeletons. And then those it's supposed to look at the skeletons and then do that with whatever you prompted. And so like the movements aren't correct, but they're very close. The fact that this even works is wild.
Wow.
So I think this is that vase extraction that we were looking at there.
Yeah. It's close enough, I would say.
Yeah, well, I mean, close enough to get started. I hopefully they'll just train a 2.2 and it'll be even better.
Definitely.
Good job. Wow.
Wow.
Make that big again. Wow. Yeah, this is really cool. Whoa, was that a cut in the video? Wow. I wonder if they prompted for the cut.
Yeah.
No, that was the Kino. Sorry, I'm just trying to tell everybody who's doing this. Kajai, 6 steps, both with Light X. Pretty good. Hmm. Whoa.
Well, look at that facial expression.
Yeah, the quality is really good. Look at the shirt fabric.
Mm.
Now we're talking 14B DPM STE with Light X and wrapper workflow. Neko is on our Discord. Generally, a wealth of knowledge on this kind of stuff. So if you want to ask them how they did this, just bug them. You have my permission to bother them. I'm just kidding. Don't bother them. But feel free to ask them because, yeah, they usually help whenever I have a question too. So, like our Discord's full of awesome, warm people that have lots of info to share. All you really have to do is ask. Don't be afraid. There's no stupid questions. This stuff's crazy. The fact that any of us get it to work at all is pretty cool. VR Game Girl using 2.2 low as the second sampler. Isn't that what we were all doing? Man, there is a really like a grittiness to this. It looks like filmed.
Wow.
That is really cool. Wow. You're all live right now.
Oh.
Whoa. Jas has also been doing some really crazy stuff today. We were talking earlier on the Benedoko Discord. They had 14B working, I think, before anybody else. 3 steps. Come on. No way.
Oh my god. She looks gorgeous.
Okay. So they're saving their latents and then reloading their latents to load to either two of the same model or to, like to specifically choose models. That's interesting. Where the workflow at? Hi, Pookie. The workflow is on the blog. It's on the docs. It's in Comfy. If you update Comfy with the manager and go to browse templates, it should be there. Yeah. And also, I'll send it to you later if you don't have it. It's cool to go back and see everyone's, experiments as they got to the really good version of their thing, Also, look at this. There's workflows everywhere in here. Like if you want to play with the latest stuff, people are always sharing their workflows in here. Like this is how you do it. And generally the images as well. The images usually contain the workflows. So the videos don't, but the images usually do. Who needs vase when you can prompt for bad compositing? Yes. Yes. We got some Who Framed Roger Rabbit action here. That's great. Native. Wrapper. All right. Looks like the wrapper still needs some work. Wow. Image to video 81 versus 121 frames. That is quite the front flip.
Yeah.
Wow. I'll try longer. Whoa.
Oh, okay.
Uh-oh. That's interesting. I wonder why it fell apart like that. Cutting salmon in 1080 with WAN. Oh, come on.
Oh.
This is what I meant about upscaling, peeps. Like, you can get stuff looking crazy good. Although I have a feeling this person probably generated this at a high res as well. Some people have access to some pretty crazy GPUs. I'm just saying. Yeah, my workflows. I'm trying to remember the one. Yes, this is the first one we saw when Kajai got his wrapper working. That was how he announced it.
Poor man. Like a
So
fisherman.
good. He's tired.
Tired of falling into the sea.
A distill test comparison on high noise. I don't know. Whoa. Yeah. This is the kind of weird stuff I like.
Yeah, but it's also like physically kind of correct.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really like it's getting it like in a world model kind of way. Yeah. I really do think it has something to do with the fact that it kind of understands a timeline of some kind. It's sort of like what
Hmm.
made diff so good. The it kind of got even though it was the course of 16 frames, it knew that there was like things would happen. Oh yeah, these are the ones we saw earlier. We got like a kiwi onion. What else we got? Dragon fruit full of kiwi. Yep, nailed it. Yeah, so I think you could see the other one was like matching the movements much better. They said they'd crank the strength up to 4, so sort of like Light X, because it was trained for a 2.1 model. I feel like we're just pushing the strength of these things like so hard that it's pushing through. So if there
Hmm.
are 2.2 versions of these things, they should be a lot more like subtle and controllable and dial inable. This is the one we
Definitely.
were we were really blown away by earlier.
Yeah, this is my favorite. Oh my God.
That's crazy. And this is K3NK, and they said that this was a character Laura that they have that for 2.1 that has managed to work in 2.2. So
Oh my
this gives
God.
me hope. Yeah, this gives me hope. The quality on that is crazy.
Holy shit.
Even the little
Oh,
things, the material on the jacket, the
yeah.
lighting, like it's,
Yeah. I pretty much like the style, like the lighting and like
mhm.
how it looks like vintage movies.
Yeah. VR Game Girl doing tests using Fusion X as the second sampler. I love that turnaround. It's very dramatic.
Holy shit.
That's really good. Live action Frozen. This guy playing ping pong, just lazily. All right. Yeah, the steak ones were really good. Really good. I'm so blown away. This is cool because this is all the stuff the VO kids were really excited about a couple weeks ago, and now we got it in one.
Oh my God.
All the cutting stuff, that's all Kino. There was another really cool one. Oh yes, Throttle Kitty. This crazy parkour video.
Yeah, this is like what I'm talking about, seriously.
This is what your dreams are like, where everything's like sort of right but not right. Oh, it's great. Yeah, I mean, I this is day one, everybody. We're not even through day one yet. We're halfway through day one. Um, so yeah, let's jump over here real quick before we wrap up. I'll just show you all the 14B stuff I was talking about. So that workflow that we had here going on. Oh yeah, I guess our nice looking one finished. Yeah, so that's more in line with what 5B looks like when you're doing it at the correct resolution. I had it at a lower resolution because that's what I was doing with 14B. But
Mhm.
yeah, I mean, for a local model, this is come on. Look at that giant bass too. Giant acoustic bass. All right. Yeah, that's the 5B model. Do dive in though. That was just the default prompt. Um, there's a prompting guide for WAN 2.2. I think it's been translated just recently. Either
Yeah.
way, you can actually feed it into ChatGPT or Claude, make a custom GPT, a Claude Code thing, and you just say, this is the prompting guide for the video model that I'm using. Can you make me a prompt enhancer that follows this guide? and then Claude will make, or Open AI, whatever you want, ChatGPT will make you a custom thing where you can say, enhance this prompt with my WAN enhancer and say, the prompt. And then basically it'll go in and make the prompt more descriptive in all the ways that the WAN model likes. So yeah, these models, especially for the text to video, very dependent on the prompt being awesome.
I think one
So
team already translated that.
Nice. Yeah, so you can feed that in, even untranslated. Claude won't care. It'll just translate it. But yeah, and so as you can see, it's just a simple one model clip VAE situation. But when we go over to the 14B version of this workflow, this is where we get into that dual model loader thing I was talking about. We got the high noise and low noise models. And then you'll see it's got these extra LoRa loaders. Let me actually just kind of move this stuff around a bit. Maybe it'll make more sense. So all we're doing here is we're loading our high noise model, and then we're loading the LightX LoRa, and then we're loading our low noise model, and then we're loading up the LightX model. We need it on both. And people are doing tests right now to see if you use it on both, use it on one, whatever. But this is the main setup right here. We're loading Model 1 and Model 2. We're going to pass the LightX LoRa through both. And what someone noticed on Bano this morning, I can't remember who it was, the strength of the LightX model, if you crank that up a bit, you get slightly better results. If you crank it up too much, you get silly bonkers results because it sort of scales up the prompt adherence. So this is pretty good to start. 2.5, 1.5, 1.1 is fine. It works. Everything's chill. It's just I found I'm getting more fun results by cranking the first one up a bit and the second one up a bit, but the first one up more and the second one up a bit. So yeah, but your mileage may vary. Maybe I try cranking the lower one up a bit and really go hard on the refiner. I don't know what this does yet. None of us do. But that's the main difference. Then it's otherwise basically the same workflow. Same models. The models are linked on the left, just like the other one. They tell you exactly where they go. Download them, put them in the folders, and then hit R to recalculate the folders, and then make sure they're reselected. You have to usually generally select the model on your computer, even if it looks like it's loaded. It'll be kind of just sitting there, not loaded. So you have to click on here and select it from the list. And that's it. You'll notice the steps here are a little different because it's 2K samplers. This is actually something we've never covered on the stream yet, I don't think. This might be something we'll get into at some point, water wheeling K samplers. But the idea is we're using two models here, just like we did with SDXL. So we need to actually send it through one K sampler. And then when that K sampler is done, we need to send it to a different K sampler with a different model plugged in with different settings. So what we're doing is we're starting here and we're adding noise to our first run, which is the general way we make stuff. We make noise, we denoise that noise. So here we're doing that. We make the noise, we denoise the noise 4 steps, but we see this start at step and end at step at the bottom of this advanced K sampler. That tells it when to stop K sampling the thing. So it's got a total of 4 steps, but it's actually going to stop doing diffusing at step 2 in this K sampler. Then we're going to feed this latent into the second K sampler. The latent is the way the computer sees the image that it's working on. You send the latent through. And then this second K sampler, we're not adding noise because the noise is the stuff from the first K sampler. So if we add noise, it'll just make it crappy because it'll add more noise in the second run. The second run is a refining run. We want to actually refine the exact image from the first one. So latent in, disable add noise, still stay 4 steps, but this one starts at step 2, and then you can set end step to some astronomical number. It doesn't matter. It just means it's not going to end until this is exhausted. So 2 steps here, then 2 steps here. First 2 steps, use the first model. Last 2 steps, use the second model. That's all it is. It's just a 2-step sample situation. This is very common when you're using tiled upscalers and things like that. You'll make the initial image, and then you'll have a second K sampler that like upscales it, cuts it up into smaller pieces, and then makes upscales those tiles, and then it'll all dream it all back together in a really nice way. That's like how Magnifique works on the back end, sort of like their code's a lot more complex than that. That's the idea. You're cutting the image up and making it bigger. In this case, we're using the same image at the same size. So we don't have to do any of that tiling stuff. But yeah, whenever you see this advanced K sampler thing, it's not scary. It just means we're splitting up our adventure here. So our prompt was the man smiles and then eats a hot dog. And we used a picture of some guy. And then, yeah, let's see how it goes. Boop, 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 boop. 720 by 480, 121 steps. 9 seconds per step, and 4 steps means what, 18, 20, 30, 30 seconds, 35 seconds to do a 14B run. Not bad. I know you're all dying to see the last one, so here you go. You can watch me eat a hot dog.
You're so happy.
Martin, what about Sage Attention and Tcache? Where do they go? They go in. You just throw them in there, man. I haven't tried it yet. I'm not going to mix the wrapper and the default workflows on day one, but I'll bet you by next week we'll have another stream where we go into all that. But Tcache, I think, works. Torch Compile apparently works. Sage Attention works. All this stuff works. So just start plugging it in and seeing what they're doing on Bano. And I bet if you go on Bano, there's probably already a workflow that has this stuff plugged in. So like that'd be a great place to start. Oh, is it done already? Okay. Oh, it just made the same one. Oh, slightly less exaggerated. So that first one that we saw, you see how it was like it was very exaggerated. It took a very big bite. I smiled very large. My settings were much higher on that first run, but I just turned them down to 2.5 and 1.5. And this is like, it's still exaggerated and cartoonish, but it's a lot more realistic. And that's what I've been noticing with the light X strength is the higher you go, the more zany and crazy it gets. So that's actually a fun thing to play with as well. But yeah, let's try the man swings a golf club and hits a frisbee. Sergey says Torch Compile and Sage Attention work very well. Awesome. Actually, I'll show you guys the stuff I made earlier with the same process. All right, these will be in reverse order here. So, yeah, this was I turned into a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle. That was man ducks down, comes back up as Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle.
Oh my god.
Ping pong. Oh, this is the laziest ping pong player I've ever seen.
Chilly.
Hey, what's up, Hugh? I think I told it I picked up a skunk and wanted to put it back down, but it made like a lizard squirrel. I don't know. They're not all winners. Feeding a cat a piece of tuna.
Oh, cute.
I don't know if he wanted it. Oh, dog. So that'd be one where the light X was higher, and then as these go down, there's a lower and lower light X. So you can see it gets a little more or a little less. Like this is a lot more subdued. Like it's a pretty good
so
example of
cute.
sort of what it's doing. Yeah, I love that one. That was the first one I tried. I don't know. I like this dog.
It's like a half sheep.
Just thinking about stuff. Yeah, and then it makes really weird stuff too. I don't even know what the prompt was for this. Guy's got like a
Oh my
toilet paper
god.
nose. It's a very
This
fun
sounds
model to
good too.
explore.
Yeah, this is
Yeah.
fun.
And this was just making prompts in ChatGPT. So like you guys can do that too. Just go to ChatGPT and say, I want 10 zany prompts of characters doing silly things and just see what the model does. You never know. You might get one that just like kicks off a whole creative rabbit hole for you. So it's definitely a fun thing to do. This one was really good. This one had a long prompt. I asked ChatGPT for like uh, a good prompt for this with very descriptive and things like that. And I think that helps a lot. So if you're getting bad results, yeah, that one was a weird one. This one I asked it to suplex a bear, and it made me like drink a beer out of my eye. Don't drink your beer like that. These were some of my first experiments here. That one's really good. That's actually the default prompt with the subway and the guy playing guitar and everything. That's what it
No.
sort of like turned into. Um, but yeah, friends, I think that's a pretty good place to end it. Like we'll be back very soon on this. I might even do a stream tomorrow, dive back in on this, just stay on our schedule. But we'll be back Friday either way. Thanks, Joe. This has been really fun.
Yeah, thank you first for having me here. I'm super
Oh
excited about the launch.
yeah, I can't wait to see what everyone does with it. I can't wait to see once vase happens, like with the way this model sticks to prompts, we're in for some crazy stuff. I'm always excited to see how the community just takes this stuff and runs with it. And you guys have had no exception today. Like I'm blown away. And we're only 7-8 hours in.
Yeah. Oh my god, the community will never stop shipping.
It's so good. All right, friends. We'll see you on Friday. Thanks, everybody. Yeah. I don't know if we even have any announcements. I think you just have a good week. That's our announcement. Have a good week.
Yeah. See you.
Bye bye, friends.